Hello, and thank you for joining me for the latest short in Riffoween! So, today's short is another Sid Davis production. We're going back to Sid Davis. And this one is called Girls Beware. It's all about warning girls about how naughty makes it sound playful, how bad and dangerous certain men can be to them, and how they should be cautious and, watch out for pervy guys. So this is a companion piece to a short called Boys Beware, which I will not be riffing because it's kind of it has some stereotypes and stuff that I really don't think are appropriate or would really be good for riffing. It's easy enough to find. If you want to see what it is, look it up, and you'll see why I chose not to do it. At least I hope you can see why I chose not to do it. Anyways, it basically does make some broad generalizations about people that I'd rather just not bother with. This one's not so bad, so I don't mind doing this one. Okay, so yeah, Girls Beware. Let's see what girls should beware of, shall we? Girls beware of the swinging good time. Really mixed message with this completely inappropriate music for the subject matter. People are really slow to back this as well. I want to make absolutely sure you know who's involved in making this. Hi, I'm Norma. I'm a fun cop.
I'm Norma Neufner, policewoman, attached to the juvenile division.
Not to be confused with
I'm
Norma
on a call
Neufner.
from a very worried mother whose daughter is missing. Her daughter's name is Judy Miller.
Well, maybe she's, just milling about somewhere.
Judy enjoyed babysitting, but there weren't enough jobs among the people she knew, so she decided to advertise at the supermarket for extra work.
Especially in high school.
Late the following afternoon, the phone rang, and Judy was offered a job for that evening. The man told her he and his wife were going out to dinner and that their regular sitter couldn't make it. Could he pick her up in 15 minutes?
Pick her up? Can't you just give her your address? That's not suspicious, Judy. You shouldn't be suspicious at all of that.
Judy's mother hadn't returned when it was time to go, so she left a message by the telephone.
Gone to get murdered. Love, Judy. Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. Like you don't see this coming. But make sure you know that's Judy.
When her mother came home, she found Judy's note and called the number to let Judy know she was home in case she wanted anything.
This chicken scratch of hers. Talk to her about penmanship when she gets home.
A woman answered, but she didn't know anything about Judy and told Mrs. Miller she must have the wrong number.
Oh no, my husband's with another teenage girl, not your daughter. Yeah, okay, bye. Babysitting hussy.
By midnight, Mrs. Miller was really worried. She phoned the police and was transferred to juvenile. I took the necessary information and assured her we'd do everything we could. She'd have to try to be patient and wait. The waiting lasted almost a week. Then the report came in. Judy's body had been found on a lonely desert road.
A lot of deserts.
The most difficult part of my job is bringing bad news to parents.
Okay, actually the funnest part of my job.
You can never find the right words to tell a mother her daughter has been murdered. Judy hadn't done anything wrong, she'd only been careless. Careless about whom she'd trusted. In itself, there'd been nothing wrong about advertising for a job, but it led her to trusting a person she knew nothing about. a mentally sick
That's the
person
trouble with
who used her
advertising,
innocent
in
ad
random
as an
public
introduction
places.
to his act of violence.
Oh no, I didn't have a life insurance
Being
policy
safe is
on her.
often no more than
I'm
applying good
ruined.
judgment in everyday life. One night while Barbara was babysitting, the doorbell rang. She didn't open the door, but called and asked who it was. A stranger said his car had broken down and could he use the phone. Barbara was very polite, but she told him she was babysitting and expecting a call from her parents.
You look like a
However,
serial
she was
killer,
sure the
Tim.
next-door neighbors were home, and perhaps he could use their phone. The
Go
stranger
murder
thanked
them.
her and
I'll
left.
be fine.
Now, Barbara had been polite and helpful,
you.
but she hadn't taken any chances.
She
And when
politely
her father
directed the
called,
murder
she
to
was
someone
safe.
else's house. And quietly ignores the grisly screams. Alright, look. 2 hot tomatoes that sit behind them and harass
Friday
them.
night was movie time for Sally and Elizabeth. Their parents alternated weeks taking them and picking them up. Friendships are easily made in a crowded theater, and when 2 older
Where
boys
you're
struck
not
up a
supposed to be
conversation
talking,
and
sure.
moved next to them, they were secretly
Hey!
pleased.
Hey! Shut up, you two! We're trying to watch the movie! And they got kicked out of the movie because they wouldn't stop talking.
At intermission, Sally found it flattering to have her friends see her in the company of older boys, and when they asked if they could take the girls home, she was
I
all
like
for it.
pedophiles.
She
They're
asked
fun.
Elizabeth to call her folks and tell them that they could ride with a friend's parents.
She's
Elizabeth
a
was
blonde
tempted, but
goose.
decided it wouldn't be right. And Sally was disappointed.
Whatever, Green Giant. Oh, whatever she used to call, what's her face? Wow, my brain's farting on those names.
When the show was over and they were leaving, the boys suggested that if Elizabeth couldn't go with them, why didn't Sally come? Sally thought it was a great idea and asked Elizabeth to tell her folks that her parents had picked her up.
I'm going off with strangers.
Elizabeth didn't
Just
like
tell
the idea,
them I'll
but
be
Sally
fine.
insisted. So, Elizabeth left alone.
Oh, gee, I wonder how this could go wrong for her.
Not any of the boys she went with had a car, so it was fun riding with the older fellows.
The older fellas.
But when they
who,
drove
don't
right
care
past her
that they're
house, she
over
became
18 and she's
concerned.
not. That's fun. Nothing creepy. She shouldn't be suspicious at all.
When they arrived at Lookout Peak, she was frightened. She tried to convince herself there
What
was
do you
nothing
look
to
out
worry
for?
about, but when they parked off the road, she knew she had gotten herself into something she couldn't handle.
Oh,
At midnight, her
It's
parents
graphic for the
became
time.
alarmed and called the Nelsons. Yes, Elizabeth was home. Hadn't they picked up Sally? No,
I'm sitting
over
here
an
with
hour
her
ago.
priest.
Of course she could talk to Elizabeth. Between guilty tears, Elizabeth told what had happened.
Yeah, Elizabeth was stupid.
Sally had been found, dazedly walking down the
Sally,
road
sorry.
from Lookout Peak. It was a night they'll long remember. In fact, Sally may never be able to forget it.
It's all Sally's fault she
Often
got raped.
seemingly innocent places can turn
All
out
her
to be
fault.
just where wrong associations are made. Mary met Robert at just such a place. Robert frequented the malt shop in his spare time, which was considerable, as he'd finished high school and didn't work. Here he sought out the
So,
company of younger
he was a
teenagers
schmuck.
because he wasn't accepted by those of his own age group.
Gee, I wonder
Mary
why.
and her girlfriend could always be found at the malt shop after school.
Jailbait.
Mary had seen Robert before and thought he was very good looking, so she was naturally flattered
Mary
when
was
he
also
singled her out and
extremely
struck up a
nearsighted.
friendly conversation. He was fun to talk to, and they discussed everything from cars to movie stars.
Sweetheart? So, what are you
When
into,
he offered her
jailbait?
a
I
ride
mean,
home,
Mary.
she was only too happy to accept.
Yay, I like creepos. So you're what, 19? Oh, 27. Oh, okay. Well, I'm 15. I guess this is okay. This music is so wrong.
They
It's like
drove
a
around
Disney
for a
movie
while
or
and
something.
talked. Mary was a good listener, and Bob enjoyed nothing more than talking about himself.
Yeah, Bob even
Mary
talks
knew
in
her
third
mother
person.
would be upset if she came home with an older boy,
Oh,
so
Bob will
Bob
drop you off
dropped her
at
at
the
the
corner.
corner.
Okay, Mary. Bob will see you later, Mary. Bye. What a nice pedophile.
After that, they saw a good deal of each other. At first, Bob was willing to see her at the malt shop, but as time went on, he became jealous of her friends and insisted on their spending more time alone.
Mary's friends did nothing to help. Such cheery music of what's about to happen.
They began to go to secluded places, and their relationship became more intimate.
Like public parks.
Mary knew things were getting out of hand because Bob became more and more demanding, but not wishing to
Make
lose
me a sandwich now, Mary!
The prestige she enjoyed from her friends for having an older boyfriend, she complied with his desire.
All right, statutory rape.
Then Mary found she was in trouble and had to tell her parents. But now it was too late for advice, and Mary had to be taken out of school and placed under the guidance of juvenile authorities.
Juvenile authorities, yes, because
Mary's
she's the one who did something wrong
one.
here.
Too many young girls are flattered by
Bob's
the attention
fine.
of older boys and don't realize until too late that these boys, who cannot compete in their
fault,
own
Mary.
age group, are often not
All
well
your
adjusted
fault.
and will
No one's
demand
to
too
blame
much
but
in a
you,
relationship
Mary.
with a younger
Nobody.
girl. You see, it's often the things that are done without thinking that get young people into
Mary's
trouble.
mom looks a little too
Trying
giddy
to move
about
too
things.
quickly into a world of grown-ups with a young person's faith often cause heartache and disaster.
Well, and that is Girls Beware. Okay, so that was a bit of a darker short. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how you react to that one. Yeah, that was definitely a dark one. That's close. Actually, that's more along the lines of what was that one I did about school buses? Not Ghost Rider. Death Zones. Yeah, that's dark like Death Zones was. So should be interesting to have a reaction. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm hoping to get in at least one more riff before for Halloween. So keep your eyes peeled. It might be late. I don't know. It depends how my weekend goes. Got some yard cleanup to do after the nor'easter, but hopefully I can squeeze at least one more in that I can premiere on Halloween Day. Anyways, thank you for joining me for Riffoween. Yeah. I'm not going to miss that. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this riff, and this is your first time seeing my stuff especially, you should know that I have scripted riffs, which obviously going to be better because I had time to think things out and rehearse my lines and, fine-tune the jokes. And you can get those at my website, FireRiffs.com, link in the description, of course. And also, if you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like, help get this into the algorithm, get it out to other riffing fans. Subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when I'm live or when I upload new content. I also stream some video game playing. I've been doing quite a bit of that. In fact, I wanted to get back into doing more riffing, which is why I decided to do yeah. So anyways, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.